on the Vatican Hill, and one at the site revered as the place of the crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus. The Church of the Holy Sepulchre, in Chapter 1, in combination with other churches, shrines, and sites in the Holy Land, allows the pilgrim to relive biblical events and walk where Jesus himself walked. The death and resurrection of Jesus were key moments in the origins of the Church and the wellspring of its theology. The Holy Cave, which was the tomb of Christ, was itself buried under tons of rubble and had a pagan temple built over it. There is archaeological evidence that pilgrimage to the site began very early, despite its Christian significance being totally obliterated by the Roman pagan temple. When the temple was removed and the site excavated by order of Constantine, the tomb took on the appearance of a representation of the Saviour's return to life. It became the testimony, or witness to the truth, of the good news of the resurrection from death to new life. Constantine stipulated that the church that replaced the temple should be worthy of the world's most miraculous place. When the basilica was built at the site, and as the pilgrimage grew, it would be a unifying touchstone for Christian belief, worship, and the celebration of the liturgy. Holy places aren't only places of unity and healing, they can also be sources of conflict, and the Holy Sepulchre has more than once occasioned the clash of empires. Christianity was taken to the heart of the Roman Empire by St. Peter and St. Paul, who both died for their faith during the persecution under Emperor Nero. Peter was crucified upside down on the spine of the circus across the river from the capital on the edge of the Vatican Hill. Soon after defeating Maxentius and taking Rome, Constantine built the Lateran Basilica, the Basilica Constantiniana, as a thank offering to Christ for his victory. The nature of the church was forever changed by the conversion of the emperor. In his project to consolidate and unify the empire, it's possible that Constantine thought that the church, unified around its bishops, should contribute to that unity. In any case, the unity of the church around the Bishop of Rome as the successor of Peter, Prince of the Apostles, would be enhanced by building another vast basilica focused on the Apostles' grave on the Vatican Hill, despite the difficulty of the site. Claiming succession from Peter, the Bishop of Rome also claimed the same authority bestowed by Christ when he said, "You are Peter, and on this rock will I build my church." Matthew chapter 16, verse 18. Ever since that claim was made, St. Peter's Basilica, in chapter 2, has been the focus of Catholic unity and papal authority. Building Constantinople as the new Rome consolidated Constantine's power over both the Eastern and Western Empire, and he built a grand basilica there as well. Constantine's confidant and historian, Bishop Eusebius of Caesarea, developed a theology in which the empire was a direct reflection of the kingdom of heaven, and where the Church of Hagia Sophia, in chapter 3, the wisdom of God in particular, was the bridge as heaven on earth. That theological conception was shattered early in 532, when the basilica, the baths, and part of the sacred palace were destroyed in the Nika riots, and Emperor Justinian was very nearly deposed. To recover from such a devastating attack on the religious, symbolic, and ceremonial heart of the capital would require rebuilding on a scale, magnificence, and speed that would astonish and make the destruction appear to have been God's providence. The result was everything Justinian could have hoped for, and in its materials, its coloured marbles from